I'm just outside here at my beautiful jungle home in Costa Rica. We're working on building a pool, but I wanted to talk about Shiba Inu, the kind of explosive chaoticness that comes from markets and the ridiculousness of speculation itself. For those of you that were here with us last year during the GameStop nonsense, it's a nice pool we're working on. You'll remember one of the most obvious things that took place there was that if people want to speculate on something, the underlying fundamental value means nothing. This is one of the reasons why I told people I thought Dogecoin, to have at least some in your portfolio, was never a bad idea. But people thinking that Shiba is going to go to $1 are insane. If you go to CoinGecko.com, one of our favorite places to look, you have 49 trillion tokens in circulation with 1 quadrillion tokens in total supply. Now, I've never seen a quadrillion written anywhere. Now, I know the US government is probably trying to get that high in the debt that they're producing, but up to that point, one of the things we need to remember that market cap is based off this speculative value, followed by what the market can actually produce and support. So a good majority of these tokens are likely held in a very few small wallets, or I guess a few wallets, individuals. And because of that, it won't take very long until someone's going to absolutely dump that price. Now, again, what's interesting is that a lot of this seems to be coming from the TikTok generation, the younger, less financially affluent individuals. Now, again, what was interesting and unique about GameStop is that it didn't matter what the value of GameStop was, fundamentally speaking, because if people buy something and it's illiquid at that moment, the price will go up. Now, if there's enough people speculating, it can appear to have fundamental value. And often this is why you end up with kind of like religious people in an investment sector to begin with. What they end up sounding like is the XRP Army or the Link Marines or maximalists of any kind. If you need to be basically a religious zealot for your investments, because the investment has little fundamental value, or one of the key parts here is that to be a good investor, you actually really need to be able to find fundamental value and hold on for the long term while everybody else is generally wrong and generally thinks you're wrong. Here's my little Shiba Inus. Hey guys, little Shiba polka jokesters. Anyways, just a quick shout out to anyone. I'm sure none of the Bear family is really invested in Shibu, Ninu, Danu. Fucking nonsense, craziness. But that's the point. That's the fun part about speculation. What one person finds valuable may not be something you consider to be valuable. That doesn't really change the difference. But here, when you've got a market supply of 1 quadrillion, a number I don't even think I've ever seen written down before, we can safely assume that it will never go to $1 easily. Now, again, I like to invest in fundamentals. I like things like Avalanche and Solana, and I like video games like Star Atlas because there's a really large reason to why we think those investments over time will do well. Now, again, in the intermediate, in the early 2000s, pets.com did fucking fantastic until the day that it didn't and the day that it died. And ultimately, this is what speculation will leave you with. If you don't have that fundamental investment made, then it's very difficult to make it through the long term. So I'm not investing in the Shibu, but I'm not a trader. I'm not a speculative wave rider. I like making good, sound investments and just continually repeating that process. And my dogs here love this little creek we invested in 8 years ago. It's never ran out of water. Just always like puddling along here. And I can fundamentally rely on this probably for quite some time. So when it comes to speculative value, when you see market caps in the hundreds of, probably close to some, I think it was like 60 or 70 billion. I'd have to double check. Stupidly high for no good reason. That's speculation. But over time, the fundamentals as they come to light, productive assets remain productive assets, and speculative nonsense shit usually goes the way of the dodo. Survival of the fundamentalists. I don't know. Something like this. Anyways, I just wanted to give a quick little update on the Shiba Inu token. There's been a lot of talk about it, and I've seen some really big YouTubers make videos about how they think Kevin said it's going to go to $1. Like, some relatively people you would think might have a little bit of brain in here, it just seems to cognitively scrape away all of their forefront thinking. Some would call that a frontal lobotomy. They've figured out a way to do it. I think YouTube kind of does it, forces people to create content that you want to click on. Like, for instance, I should probably call this video Shiba Inu is going to $1. Probably not. If it does, that will be amazing. Congratulations to anyone who made money off these ridiculous dog meme coins. I'm proud of you. It means you took a risk, and hopefully it's paying off for you. Anyways, see you with the Arcane Bear. It's my quick shots on Shiba Inu. I don't know.